Albertsons is selling old meat at least one day past the original sell-by date. I had to tell you about my meat haul. I went to Albertsons and Walmart. Thanks to Bounty in the Badlands, one of our viewers, she said, guys, meat prices are going up. My local ranchers here in Wyoming confirmed that beef is going to be going sky high, the highest prices they've ever gotten. So I happened to run across this beef sale. I was like, woohoo! So it was all around $4 a pound. I got brisket and London broil. Is that what it's called? London broil? I don't know, London, whatever it is. So those are the two that I got at Albertsons, along with some grapes that were on sale. Then I went to Walmart and they had these sausages for $3.36. So I got 10 of them. I went up to the cash register and of course they were ringing up wrong as $3.56. So, dumb me, I wasn't even thinking. I had videotaped it because I was going to do that, and she's like, well, I went back, because I told the lady, I said, these are ringing the wrong price. And she said, well, I went back and they're $3.56. I said, no, they're not. So then I told her, I said, well, let me go show you. So walked all the way back there. Of course, her and the meat guy had this discussion.
$3.56, but I'm not sure what's in there before.
Yeah, I didn't change this price, so whoever. This one's at $3.56.
Yeah.
This was the one I got.
This one also $3.56 over there. I found in the shop $3.56. It's straight up $3.98, but I'm not sure this one is messed up the price in the rollback.
Well, it's obvious that they did, so yeah. So it's off by 20 cents. So.
Yes, I was right. I knew I was right. So we had to walk all the way back up, and she had to individually change every single one, of course. And you're like, Tara, is that really worth $2? No, it probably wasn't worth $2, but it's just the whole point of it. It drives me crazy. Walmart is the worst about their prices. So I'm always taking photos when something's on clearance or sale at Walmart or rollback, because it never rings up right. So yeah, got that done, got home, got a bunch of meat, including some burgers for Jack. Oops, I didn't get you. Do you want in there? Somebody asked for burgers. Who asked for burgers?
Me, maybe.
So I didn't have enough room in my freezer, so I decided to go ahead and cook up some of the brisket right away because, you know, it'd take up less space. This video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We have quick and easy recipes your family will love to help you get in and out of the kitchen fast. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. It's 25% off now. Okay, so I got this really huge brisket right here for $47 a pound. But I actually paid $4 a pound because they gave me the senior discount. Am I getting old, Jack?
Well,
You plead the fifth?
yeah.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this up and make it into smaller pieces for me to eat for my carnivore diet that I gotta try now. Woohoo, can hardly wait. Okay, there we go. I don't know if it helps my fibromyalgia, I would be glad, but since I've tried so many things, I'm not hopeful. All right, so actually, man, I'm trying to decide, maybe I should just cook this up today. Maybe I should just cook the whole thing in the Instant Pot. And then, throw the whole thing in the Instant Pot and then just freeze the individual portions. I think that's what I'm gonna do, actually. I know that's what I'm gonna do. I know that's not how you're supposed to cook brisket, but I have histamine issues, so I have to cook meat quickly. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna cut this up into some smaller pieces just to get into the Instant Pot. And I'm supposed to have really high fat, so I'm leaving all of the fat on here. Got my Instant Pot, got all my large pieces of beef, and I'm going to thoroughly salt them. Okay, I'm gonna cook this for about 2 hours on high pressure. Put about, I don't know, half a cup of water.
What are you making?
Brisket. Okay, so I'm gonna put, I don't know, what is that? 2 cups of water? 2 cups of water, not a half cup. Ooh, that's way a lot of water. That's fine, whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, extra salt. Why, Jack?
Because the world needs more salt, people.
Thank you, Jack. I can always count on my kids. Okay, there we go. Meat. Never used the meat option before, but we'll give it a try. Let's do an hour and 15 minutes, I guess, on high. We'll try that. If it's not done, I'll just cook it a little longer. That's it, I guess. We're repackaging this. This is the first batch into little packets here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make all these little packets, and then I'm going to put them in the freezer bags. These are just cheaper than using freezer bags. So this is about, probably 2 dinners worth of meat. And I did this, it was not frozen, and I cooked it for an hour and 15 minutes in my Instant Pot. Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I've got all my extra fat and water in here. So as soon as the other batch is done, I'm gonna boil this, render more of the fat, get it all broken up here. And then I'll save the tallow, because they like you using the tallow, even though I prefer ghee, but I'll save it because it's really expensive and it's better to use it. So I'm getting it all broken up here. I'm gonna boil it with some water and get it broken down. And then I'll have my tallow. Okay. Here's my freezer bags, and I'll just fold these up. Normally I wipe these down, but I'm not going to this time because it's not, I got a little bit of grease on the outside, but it's not that bad. Okay, so these are 2 meal portions. So this will get me through 2 meals in a day. Then I freeze it, then I just defrost one each day. Then I got to working on this piece of meat right here. And as I was looking at it, I was like, wait a minute, there are 3 stickers on here. So I pulled them back and here's what I found. All right, so I gotta show you this. So I looked and here's the date. Sell through June 2nd, packed on May 8th. Jack noticed the pack date. But then I noticed, wait, there's extra stickers. So here's the next sticker. Sell through June 28th, packed on May 28th. And then you keep going. Sell by May 28th. Today is May 29th, packed on May 25th. Isn't that interesting, Albertsons? The way you repackage the meat there. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? Oh, I see, never mind. Okay, that's the original price over there. I get it, okay. So, Albertsons is selling old meat at least one day past the original sell-by date. So this meat was really fatty, but it was only one day past the due date. It didn't smell, it didn't look bad or anything, so I thought, okay, I'm just gonna cook it up anyway. Well, after I cooked it all up, I am not exaggerating, this was a 6-pound piece of meat. I got 1 pound of actual usable beef out of this entire thing. I could not believe it. I was so mad. We had company. I couldn't even feed my company because there wasn't enough meat for me to feed all 6 of us. I just couldn't do it. So I put it all in a Walmart sack, and the next morning I hauled it all the way back to Albertsons and I said, I want my money back. It was $25 for this piece of meat that was 6 pounds, and I only got a pound of meat out of it. I'm like, no way. I'm not paying $25 a pound for beef. I don't care. He said, I don't blame you for wanting your money back. He said, that's crazy. And I got my money back. Well, right after that, guess what happens? My freezer dies. Yeah, 3 refrigerators, a dishwasher, a stove, and my freezer, all in less than 18 months. I was not a happy camper. All right, my freezer that we've had for 8 years has decided to die. 8 years. So I sent a video of what was wrong with it to Pistol, our repair guy. And he said it was going to be $1,000 to fix it. I paid $400 for it 8 years ago. I was live when it came, remember? We were live.
We were?
Yep, remember? The whole delivery?
I don't remember.
So I remembered I had been to the Restore a couple days before and they had a chest freezer there for $75. So it was 15 minutes before closing. I texted Brad, love you Brad, went down to the Restore to see if they still had it. And he said, well, I'm not there, but when I left, they still had it. I said, okay. So I ran down there 5 minutes before they closed, found another freezer. They had sold the one that I was thinking of, but they got another one in. It was a pretty darn tootin' good deal. We're in our working clothes. Ran to the Restore. Got this one, it was $40, got it 25% off, so it was $30. And I'm just gonna
really nice.
keep that. It's from the year 2000, so it actually works.
It's an oldie and a goodie.
So I don't know how long it'll be working, but that's 5 appliances in 5 months. We've thrown 3 of them away.
Including this one?
Including this one, which is basically new or not that old.
Well, at least it's environmentally friendly.
I just can't believe it. $1,000 to fix it. Right there. $1,000. There's absolutely no reason for that. Absolutely no reason.
Well, man, actually, if we can get $30 at the thrift store, we just get one, and if we need another one, buy another one for $30, and we'll be way ahead.
I guess.
Then if it fails, we just go get another one at the thrift store for $30.
So Mike and Jack are gonna go haul it to the dump right now.
Yep.
Say goodbye.
Can you go get the yellow strap?
You've been a trusty freezer.
Just one strap in the short piece. Yes.
So after I wiped it down, I got everything in my little mini freezer, my regular refrigerator, my spare refrigerator freezer, so in both of those freezers, and then this little chest freezer. I am not about to pay $800 to $1,000 for another freezer. I'm just not gonna do it. That's just ridiculous. So I got everything jammed in the freezers and was able to save everything from my freezer going out. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how I cooked 3 different roasts here. I have my roast that I paid $3.87 a pound for. It's been in the freezer. So putting it here in the crock pot. My homemade roast sticky chicken seasoning. Here's how you make it. Roast sticky chicken in our Dining on a Dime Volume 1. Oh my goodness, this is such a yummy roasted chicken. All right, got my chicken for 97 cents a pound today. So this is one of my favorite recipes to make. So what I do is I 10 times the recipe, and then I just put it in an empty spice jar, which I've got one right here, and I'll just put it in an empty spice jar. Oops, empty out my dill. And then I won't have to keep making it over and over again. All right, there's my salt. Then we got our paprika. Then my cayenne pepper. And my onion powder. And garlic powder. And I don't have any white pepper on hand, so I'm only going to use black pepper. Then I just stir it up like this. Then I just pour it in my empty container and mark it. Whoops, I should have done that over the sink. Oh well, live and learn. All right, and then I just sprinkle this all over my roast and put in a cup of water. All right, now we're gonna cook this. Okay, I got this started late because I forgot to put it in my crock pot. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to cut it in half. This is a little tip trick from Tara.
Looks like prime rib when you do that.
Well, I mean, kind of basically is, but okay. And then what I'm going to do is put it upside down, and I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit more seasoning on this side, and then in the 2 hours when dinner is ready, when it's time to eat dinner, it will be ready. Okay, I need a testimonial.
Okay, this stuff. It's got to be the best roast I've had in a long time.
What do you think? I used a new seasoning.
Oh, really?
Is it delicious?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yay!
It's also very tender.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can save this roast. $3.87, which you can see here, November 3rd, 2023. This got pushed back into the back of the freezer and I missed it. Oops. So it is a year and a month later. 1 year, 1 month, and 1 week later, actually. So I'm gonna throw this in the Instant Pot and see if it's still edible. Yeah, it looks a little rough there. I don't know. We'll see. You guys think I can save it? Okay, got it in there. Got my seasoned salt, very thoroughly salted. Nobody ever uses enough salt. Use enough salt. All right, and then I have my water. It's just the water from the teapot, just because it's easier. You don't have to put hot water in there. Is that gonna be enough gravy? Yeah, that should be enough gravy. Okay, I'm gonna cook this for 4 hours. See how it does. This one, of course, I forgot the after. It's been over 6 months since I filmed this. I lost the after, but it was really tasty. Eat your old expired, supposedly, meat. At least cook it up and see if it's edible. If nothing else, cook it up and see if it's edible and give it to the dog. The thing is, you're not gonna get food poisoning from it. It might have a funny taste, but it's not gonna make you sick to eat meat that's been in your freezer for 1.5 years. So I found that piece of meat for 1.5 years. I was not about to let, 1.5 years old, and I wasn't about to let it go to waste. So I cooked it up. It was very delicious, especially if you're worried about freezer burn taste. Just put on some barbecue sauce, sweet and sour sauce, any kind of sauce, and it pretty much covers up all of that freezer burn taste. Here's how you make roast with the onion soup mix from our Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1. I need to get dinner done. Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1 has onion soup mix on page 143. Now, I don't have any onion soup mix on hand mixed up, but I'm just gonna kind of make a equivalent sort of. Bouillon cubes, gonna put those in. And then Mike likes extra garlic, so I always add extra garlic. And onion powder and salt and pepper. Now, usually I just do my seasoned salt, which is all of this, but I'm just showing you in case you guys don't have seasoned salt made up. Then I have about a cup or 2, it doesn't really matter, of water. And I'm going to put my onions in here and start those cooking right there. And then put my foil on and put it in my stove, in my oven. Now, since this is frozen and it's 11 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm gonna put it at 350 to start with for about an hour, and then I'll turn it down and let it finish slow roasting. Cover it with foil, put it in the oven. About an hour and a half before dinner, I will throw in my potatoes and carrots. Now, this one, of course, I forgot the after. It's been over 6 months since I filmed this. I lost the after, but it was really tasty. Okay, getting ready to go to church. Now, you can line your pan if you want. I don't think it's that big of a deal to clean it, but got my roast there. And have my oven on 300 degrees. My roast is frozen solid. I am going to put this on 300, and then if it's not quite done when we get back from church, it's going to be like 45 minutes before we eat, so I will just bump it up to 350 or 400 and let it finish. I'm going to take my seasoned salt. Liberally sprinkle it. Cut my onions. Roast. Yes. Excited I'm making roast.
I love your roasts.
You love my roasts? Aw, thanks. Okay, so about 2 cups of water because I'm making juice for French dips. Do you like French dips? Now, normally I would just put my potatoes in here, but I'm gonna try a different way of baking my potatoes. So, here's my roast. Here we go. Now you can put cream of mushroom soup in here if you want, or onion soup mix if you want. I'm just doing it plain today. Okay, so now we have this in our oven. My parchment paper that I'm reusing. It is weird. Okay, so I don't know where my bacon grease went, but what I'm gonna do is cut my potatoes down half. Now I think it's Charming Abode. I think she made these this way. So I was like, ooh, I'm gonna try that. I have never seen them done this way. Okay, now, normally I would do bacon grease, but I gotta go downstairs and get more bacon grease, so I'm not gonna do that right now. So, got some butter here, or ghee, whatever you want. And I'm going to rub a little bit of oil. Now you can use olive oil, just canola oil, whatever oil you want. It's just about a tablespoon for the whole thing. Okay, so now I have salt. So I'm sprinkling salt on all my potatoes. So my problem is, I think the 4 hours that we're gonna be, 3 hours, even at 300 is gonna be too much for the potatoes. So I think what I'll do is leave the potatoes and then just put them in as soon as we get home from church. But now they're all ready and waiting to go. All right, sounds good. Okay, so I forgot to do my carrots. So let me just show you. So when you're at the end of the package, use the package as a little disposable cutting, whatever. And then you can just gather it all up and throw it away. So I totally spaced that I forgot to put my carrots in. So I will cut them up, put them in, and we still have about 30 minutes before dinner. They should be done in plenty of time. Okay, so now just gather it up just like so. Very simple. So I'm gonna cut these up into smaller pieces so they'll cook quicker. I try to get the carrots in as much juice as possible because it's already hot and it makes them cook quicker. Okay. We're gonna throw this back in the oven, and I turn the oven up to 350 degrees. I'm going to make broccoli salad. Going to cut these into smaller pieces. Now, this you can make up the day before if you want. I just am not that organized. And put some raisins in. And some mayonnaise. A little bit of sugar. Okay. Oops, I forgot. My onion. we go, broccoli salad, yum. I got these buns for $1.67 on clearance, so I'm going to cut them in half and we're going to use these as our French dip. Carrots are done. Then I am going to take and put my juice in a pan just to add a little bit of bouillon. Okay, so I got about a cup of water in there, pouring in my juice. Then bouillon cubes right here. Got about 4 of those in. We're gonna let this heat up to boiling so that it dissolves the bouillon cubes, and then that will be ready. Okay, here's my potatoes. Let's see. Ooh, that looks yummy. Perfect. Yum. Okay, so now to assemble these, we're going to take our buns. Now you can do the whole bun if you want, but I'm going to cut mine in half. Just like so. And then my forks. My roast could have probably gone another hour, but that's fine. Just shred up your roast. I'm only feeding 4 people today. So you just shred it just like that. If your roast is a little bit dry, shouldn't be if you cook it slow cooked, but if it's a little bit dry, then just add a little bit of the juice in there. Then I'm going to add a little bit of roast and onion, and the bun like that. Then we've got our carrot. Oops. Carrots right here. And our potato right there. I'm going to cut it. And you can just smush it like that. See how smushy that gets? And then your butter. And if you want to add sour cream and cheese, you can. Just take your juice like so. And there you go. Okay. Dinner is ready.
Finally!